Hi, I'm Andrea. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. I have a chair. You don't have to have one, it's not mandatory, but I think it's a great idea to have one nearby. If you don't have a yoga mat, no problem. Find a place that is carpeted, not too slippery, and that gives you enough room to move around a little bit. The other thing that's nice to have are a couple of yoga blocks. You could substitute 2 thick books, and lastly, a folded blanket or maybe a big beach towel. Nice to have when we come to the floor, either to sit on or maybe to pad your knees. Once you have those things, we will start, as we often do, standing in a Tadasana, a mountain pose. So feet hip distance is a good stance. If you situate yourself so you're facing me, either that's the short edge of your mat or you're pretending like you have the short edge of a mat, and I'll move around to make sure that you can see me. So let me do the moving. You can just get a straight shot of gazing. In our mountain pose, turn your palms away from each other. Let this be a place where we stop so that we can start. Sometimes that means closing your eyes if you're comfortable with it, or just a gaze down so that the arrows of attention can turn inward as opposed to out. And become aware of your breath. We breathe all the time, or we wouldn't be here, but often without very much awareness. So if you can, try to breathe in and out through your nose. Rich, deep inhales, complete exhales. 3 moments here. Just connecting to the earth as your head extends to the sky. Now, like life, our practice is going to take a few twists and turns today. Interlace your hands in front of you. Turn your palms to face you and keep a nice bend in your knees. Let's step a little bit wider than we were. It almost has a little Tai Chi feel to it. Now I want you to be careful to spin onto your left toes as you turn to your right, and then come to center. You can add a little bend to your knees. Come onto your right toes as you turn to your left. So we'll just start out here, nice, simple, and interlace with your palms facing you. And I just want you to be sure that you're spinning on those right toes here and left toes here. We're going to get a little bit more action into the arms as we go side to side here. So draw the world into your heart and then extend your heart out into the world as you twist and spin onto your left toes. Come through center, draw the world in. Extend your heart out and spin onto your right toes as we twist left. Through center, scoop into your heart, extend your heart over to the right, spinning on those left toes. Back to center, scoop the world in, extend your heart out, spin to the left and onto your right toes, and then one more each side. Scoop the world in, extend your heart out, turn it to the right, spinning on the back toes, and then scoop the world in and extend your heart out, twist to your left, and then down the middle, release your interlace, heel toe, so that we're hip distance, and we've landed again into our mountain. Allow your heart to lift. So maybe the twists and turns and what we've learned from those, even just at the very beginning of our practice, elevates us. We can feel it physically. Okay. Using either the base of your chair or now relocating your 2 blocks, setting them up as I'm going to show you, tallest, and to either side of your mat, but not underfoot. So you want to make sure that your setup is mindful, so the movement can also be a reflection of that mindfulness. And then standing at the front edge of your space, whether that's a mat or just a pretend mat, you may like to have your chair in place where you can use that instead of blocks if it works better for you. A half sun salutation, a V shape as we inhale, thumbs to the sky. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, take your hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, hinge back into the hips. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. and then stand into your mountain. We'll add on. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Hinge at your hips, take your hands to your thighs. Use traction to inhale, lengthen to your spine, and keep this length. Either place your hands on your seat of your chair or onto your tall blocks and step your left foot back so that we're now in a lunge. We'll build our lunge from the ground up. So you want to feel your right heel stamp, your right hip draw back, your left hip draw forward. Your heart is drawing forward, just like we spoke of standing in our mountain. You can think of standing in your mountain pose even in a lunge pose. And then firm through your belly, start to come upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. Front knee is bent, maybe even a little bend in the back knee makes this a little doable. I don't want you scrunching your shoulders into your ears, so the arms can stay wide, thumbs to the sky, or be a V shape, but thumbs to the sky for all of us. Make a little space between your low belly and your thigh by drawing the belly in, not a judgment drawing the belly in, a structural draw the belly in, and then just see where it's a little challenging. That's what happens in the twists and turns of things. And we actually can chew on the challenge and make it an opportunity. How about that? It's a pretty good stretch, right? Start to straighten your front leg. Go slow. There's a little balance challenge here, but challenge is an opportunity. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. 3 moments here. And begin to bend your front knee slowly, slowly, slowly back into our lunge, and then return your hands to your blocks or to the seat of your chair. Keep that lift of the low belly, so we're still firm. Left foot hip distance from right foot, hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Stand into your mountain. Second side. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and take your hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your heart, hands to the base of your chair or onto your blocks, and now it's your right foot that will step back. You're on the ball of that back foot. There's a strength to that back leg as if it were holding you in a plank. Stand into your left heel. Dial back the left hip and allow the right hip to make its way forward like a magnet so that we have a midline, a plumb line, a balancing point. Now remember, we're using strength in our torso, so lift your low belly. Keep your left knee bent, upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. You can bend the back knee if that's helpful, but it's like we're standing in our mountain. We just happen to be in an asymmetrical lunge. Now, thumbs to the sky, a V shape only if that gives you spaciousness between your shoulders and your ears. Find the challenge and see if you can make it an opportunity to learn. Sometimes balance is the challenge, endurance is the challenge, just being still is a challenge. It's good stuff to chew on while we're here. Now, very slow motion and still no shoulders in our ears. Start to straighten your front leg. And here's more balance challenge. Fix your gaze at one point, that's going to help. Keep your breath steady. 2 more moments here. And then very slowly bend your left knee once again. Our exit is as mindful as our entrance. Hands come to your blocks or to the seat of your chair, firm through your belly. Step your right foot hip distance from your left. Hands onto your thighs. Inhale, lengthening through your spine, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out to the side, of V shape. Stand into the majesty of your mountain. We're adding our twists and turns this round. Inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and take your hands to your thighs. Inhale, your heart forward, and then hands to the base of your chair or hands onto your blocks. Step your left foot back so that it's your right foot that's forward. Let's establish our foundation, just like we did on our first go around. Firm through your belly. Come upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. And if it's better, there are a couple of things that you might do. You can bend the back knee. You could even return your hands to your blocks and carefully put that back knee down on the ground if that feels better to you. All good. Now here come our twists and turns. Ready to find opportunity in the challenge? Turn, turn, turn towards your right, thumbs to the sky. And then just find a place where it's challenging but not frustrating. There is a Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius who's famous for saying, "What's in the way is the way." It's really what we're practicing here in the twists and turns on our mat, so that we can use them when there are twists and turns in life, which there just will be. We know. We've been around the block a few times. Now slowly turn forward. We're still in our lunge, but now straighten that front leg. Find your balance. This is going to be even more of what Marcus Aurelius had to say for us to chew on. Turn to your right. Find a place where the balance is challenging but fruitful, and then make sure you're breathing. Whoop. See, I wobble too. 2 more moments here. Slowly turn forward and bend your front knee. Return your hands to your blocks or to the seat of your chair. Mindfully step your left foot hip distance from your right. Inhale your hands onto your thighs and your heart towards the sky, and then exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Stand into your mountain. Great. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, length into your spine that you will take with you into our lunge. So hands on the base of your chair or hands onto your blocks, and your right foot steps back so that your left foot is the one that's forward now. Really get solid, have plenty of sideways space between your left foot and your right foot, so front and back foot. Firm through your belly, come upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. For some of us, a bend in the back knee is going to feel good, so you can ask yourself these questions. It's part of the challenge that we're growing from. If you want to put your back knee down on your mat, you're welcome to. And then just turn, turn, turn towards your left. And as you do that, I think a little bit of the what's in the way is the way, and probably a little sense of humor. Stay for a few breaths here. And then come back to center. Go slow, straighten your front leg. Let it be orchestrated from that left big toe mound. If you can find that as an anchor, that's going to be helpful. Keep lifting in the low belly. Turn, turn to the left. It doesn't have to go very far. And then you find your challenge and you create your opportunity. 3 moments here. So good. Unwind. Bend your left knee. Hands onto your blocks or onto the seat of your chair. Mindfully, we dismount. We take right foot hip distance from left. Hands to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. And we stand in our mountain. Now, you may decide that you want to use your blanket to pad your knee for the next thing. So you could even take care of that prop movement now. Take your blanket, set it down, because we're going to put our back knee down this time. And then stand in your mountain once you're situated with your props. Inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward and hands come to the base of your chair again or onto your blocks. Step your left foot back and, as I mentioned, lower your back knee onto your mat. I like to keep my back toes curled under. You can be on the top of your foot. Mostly I want that back knee to be happy. Come upright, thumbs to the sky. Kind of familiar, isn't it? But it's a little bit maybe even more challenging in a wobbly way to be on that back knee. Turn, 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 slowly and carefully to your right. Thumbs to the sky. Pause. Breathe. Through the twists and turns, just like the twists and turns in life. 2 more moments here. And then unwind. Place your hands onto your blocks. It might be that it's on the seat of your chair. You can always move the chair towards you so that that feels a little bit more manageable. And then straighten your front leg. And this is going to be a pretty delicious hamstring stretch. So we'll pause in the hamstring stretch for a moment. I'm curling my toes back towards me, my heels digging into the ground. Perhaps you do the same. You could stay hands on blocks or hands on the base of your chair the whole time, and it would be completely fine and lovely. I'm going to give you a number of different options for this next part. You're the expert. I'm just your guide. So we stay for a couple more moments here in our hamstring stretch, straight down the middle. And then we keep the left hand on our block and take our right thumb to the sky, arm to the sky. This is a lot. If it's interesting, come upright with that front leg straight and give yourself a turn. What's in the way is the way, right? 2 more moments here. Now slowly turn yourself forward, and no matter which version you took, bring your hands onto your blocks and the length into your spine. And then rebend your right knee, curl your back toes under if they're not, and take that knee off your mat. Step your left foot hip distance from your right, hands onto your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape, and then stand into your mountain. Second side of that. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands onto your thighs. Inhale, heart forward and hands to your chair or block. Step your right foot back. Lower that back knee. Maybe you have that fantastic padding for your back knee. And then upright we go, thumbs to the sky. Pause. Low belly is lifting. It feels still like we're tractioning our left heel back and our right hip forward. And then just turn, turn, turn to your left. And pause. Find where there's a sweet challenge, where you can follow the advice of a Roman emperor and a deep rumbling of your own wisdom. 2 moments. And then unwind your hands to your blocks or onto the seat of your chair. Straighten your front leg. Dig that heel in, curl your toes back towards you. Find a little length through the spine. We'll stay with our stretch here just for a moment. You breathing? That's the non-negotiable. You have to keep breathing. The other things I give you various choices to make. Now remember that you can just stay here even, or right hand stays on your block, thumb to the sky, left arm up to the sky, and just the right amount of twist to be a challenge. There's no fight. You're able to breathe. If it's interesting, upright, and an even more wobbly moment, at least for me. Stay for a couple moments with whatever you've got going on. The challenge is the opportunity. And then turn yourself forward, take your hands onto your blocks. This time our dismount's different. We'll stay on the floor. So right knee next to left knee, move your props off to the side. You can keep your blanket if it was folded underneath your knee in those lunges. You may want to fold it a little bit more, so you have an even more raised up bench to sit upon. And then once you're sitting, extend your legs out in front of you. Curl your toes back, sort of like we did one at a time a moment ago in our stretch. And then bend your your right knee, and place your right foot on the ground a little bit away from your left leg. Curl those left toes back towards you. Sit up tall. That's where the blanket can be very helpful. Now, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, familiar territory. Turn to your right. Every inhale, grow tall. Every exhale, a little rotation through your spine. And your gaze can go sideways. You could even start to kind of think about looking back towards your right thumb. Just like when we were on our blocks a moment ago and in a variety of lunges, you have options here. This might feel like the best option of all, and it's perfect. It could be that you take your left hand and a little bit hug your right knee towards you. I don't want you to cross the knee over, so find a place where you can stay upright and there's just a hint of leverage. Maybe it feels good to you to take your left elbow on the outside of that right thigh. I think for most of us, probably something more like hugging the knee towards us is going to feel good. And then remember, it's the twists and turns just like life. We're not trying to force something. We're finessing something. 2 moments. Now, thumbs to the sky, unwind, place your fingertips on the ground, slowly straighten that right leg out, and we'll switch. Bend the left knee, left foot stamps into the ground. It's a little ways away from your right leg. Curl those right toes back. Very similar to something we were doing on blocks. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Sit tall. Think mountain pose here, seated. And then turn to your left. Thumbs stay to the sky. Every inhale reminds us to stay tall. Every exhale is just a little deeper into the twist. No force, just finesse. A couple more moments. If you like the option of the right hand onto the left knee, you can do that. If you like the option of the right tricep to the outside of the thigh, just make sure that that's not taking things too far. I think the majority of us are going to do a lot better with just a gentle hand on the leg or staying with the open twist without needing to leverage at all. And there's benefit to all of it. Sometimes people think that you're supposed to like go for it, and that's the yoga. It's actually the opposite. 2 more moments here. And then really slowly unwind and take both legs out in front of you, curling your toes back towards you and sitting tall. And then a cross-legged seat with our right shin in front. So cross right shin in front of left shin, seated on your folded blanket, hands onto your lap for a moment. Different things happening in the stretch. Still, the twists and turns are a finesse. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your right. Take your left hand, if you'd like, on the outside of your right thigh, and even drop the right hand onto the ground or onto a block behind you if that feels good to you. Inhale, length. Exhale, gentle, loving nudge into your twist. Last few moments here. Turn your gaze forward and unwind. Recross with the left shin in front. A nice tight cross, not so much at the ankles, a little bit more ankles beneath knees, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. And then turn to your left. Think sit tall as you inhale. And then the exhale, just gently a nudge into the twist. And then you get to make your own decisions. Maybe right hand outside of left thigh and left hand behind you. Left hand could be on a block. Finesse, not force. And a few moments here. And then slowly unwind. Take your legs out in front of you, give them a little waggle, let them release, and then come off your perch. Lie down onto your back and let your feet be as wide as your mat. And again, if you don't have a mat, just kind of imagine a bit wider than hip distance. And then one more little twist and turn before our Shavasana final meditation. Shift your hips to the left and let your knees, like a set of windshield wipers, drop over to the right. And just pause for a moment here. And then come through center, scoot your hips over to the right, let your knees fall over to the left, and pause here in our little twist and turn. Bring yourself back to center. Let your knees fall in on each other as if you were knock-kneed, and take a moment to shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Think about our very first heart-opening twist and let it kind of find you here as we settle. Gently pick up your hips just an inch, elongate your spine, and let your hips come back down onto the ground. You could stay like this in constructive rest for our final Shavasana meditation. Or extend one leg and then the other and let your feet flop open. For some of us, this is the biggest challenge of all, to just lie still for a couple of minutes. Remember, what's in the way is the way. The challenge is the opportunity. Let yourself completely let go. Close your eyes if you'd like. Even cover them if it's helpful. Shavasana, final meditation. Now, if you'd like to stay here in your final Shavasana meditation a little bit longer, you're welcome to stay exactly as you are. If you're ready to gently start to find your way back, move your fingers and toes. You can even rub your thumb against the tips of your fingers. Maybe take a stretch in opposite directions as if we were waking up, refreshed and renewed all over again. Gather up your knees into your chest. Roll carefully to either side, and then use the strength of your arms, allowing your head to be the last thing to come up. Sit into a cross-legged seat if that's comfortable. You could even come back onto your perch if you'd like to, and then palms up or down. A soft gaze, or even close your eyes. And feel how it is after the twists and turns. Feel the extraordinary opportunity that you've created from challenge, and see if you can't imagine taking that with you off your mat and into the rest of the day, so that really every day is a bit of a yoga practice or a meditation. And then blink your eyes open. And thank you for practicing with me. I'm Andrea. I look forward to us doing it again soon.